Sure thing.
And so the other thing I was going to say is if you all have questions, Dr. Cribbs and I are not in the office now. We're not, well, I'm in the office sometimes, but like calling us on the phone, it'll be hard to get us. So email us at honors@rmc.edu if you have questions, and we check that email all the time. So we're usually pretty good at getting back to you. I sent you guys by email this morning 2 documents, and those documents were the ePortfolio requirements, and then just like a general document about what is an ePortfolio. So just as a reminder, if you are, do I have the ability to share? No. If you entered.
Sorry. I was going to say that you can put it on chat, because chat will be available too, or students could hit save chat history before they leave.
Okay.
So you could,
okay.
Yeah.
So if you entered Randolph-Macon in fall of 2018, so if you are a current sophomore or second year student, or if you entered in fall of 2019, then you are required to do an ePortfolio. ePortfolios are not designed to take a ton of your time. So this is not something that you should worry about. In fact, last year when Mrs. Zhang did this for us, most students had their ePortfolio kind of done by the end of the workshop. So it's not something that's designed to take a whole long time, but it's basically for you to like track your goals, track some of the products that you're working on here while you're at Randolph-Macon, track your best work so that when you graduate, you have something that you can show to a potential employer or a graduate supervisor that shows what you are capable of doing. So it's kind of like LinkedIn, but you can show what your kind of professional abilities are. So ePortfolios are due on July 1st, 2020. And all you have to do is send me a link to your ePortfolio. So it'll be a website, and you just send honors@rmc.edu. This is the link to my ePortfolio, and we will review it at some point and give you feedback. Don't know what that point will be. Everything's crazy these days. So you'll get feedback at some point in the future. ePortfolios build each year. So if you turned in one last year, you don't have to do a new one. You just add things to the one that you did last year. And one of the documents that I sent you today tells you what you need to have for each year. So if you're a freshman, all you need is like a 1-paragraph biography. You need to have 1 document uploaded of something that you produced this year that you're proud of. You need to have a goals page, but it doesn't have to have anything on it. And then an annual review statement where you say, this is what I accomplished this year, and this is what I intend to accomplish in the next year. And then hopefully next year you'll go back and look at your goals and see which of your goals you met and which of your goals you didn't meet. And then that helps you to kind of like, I don't know, set goals for your college experience. So today you guys are going to learn how to set up your ePortfolio page, how to make your ePortfolio page. And then if you have any questions after that, you can ask Mrs. Zhang, or you can ask me, or you can email Dr. Cribbs, and we'll help you with that. Okay? Good? Good? Yes? Okay, awesome. Okay, so then I will.
Patty,
yes.
one quick question. It's like I'm a senior and just started the program, so I have a lot to get accomplished. How, I guess the 4 artifacts is where I'm thinking about, like, what if I don't have things that I like really want to be in there yet?
Then you don't have to, if you don't have anything you want to put in, you don't have to. So Kofi, you entered in 2019. So you would only need 1 artifact. So if you have like a paper that you wrote in a class or a research project or something like that, you could put it in. But if you really don't have anything to put in, you don't have to put something in at this point.
Okay.
And you can always take it back out too. It's not like permanent. You can take it out if you need to.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I will be quiet and let Mrs. Zhang speak.
Okay, well, thank you. So we're gonna start with a little bit game. So I just sent in a chat a URL, a link, that if you could go ahead and follow the link and go to a page, then we are going to ask you, I'm gonna ask you to type in 3 to 5 words that come to your mind when it comes to e-portfolio. Well, Dr. Marchetti has already covered, what expectations are, but what do you have in mind? What do you want to be, what do you want to include or put in the portfolio that will make impression on your, say, future employer or, people you interact with? So yeah, let's go ahead and see how that pans out. So go ahead and click on the link, and I'm going to share the screen. So did you get to the page? Yeah, some people are already typing, so I'm going to share that so that we can all see. Right. Yeah, great. So yeah. So words are popping. That's great. So keep them coming. And this, okay, so with this new mode of instruction, we're trying to figure out what are the ways to interact and engage with students. So I'm not saying this is an experiment, but I'm gonna see if this is gonna play out well. And I hope this will. So yeah, if you just click anywhere and start typing, that's good. It could, yeah, it may show your name, but that's okay, really. And then if I say, okay, this is it, we're gonna see what words are coming out. Oh, this is awesome. Everybody has something. Okay. So do you think this is enough time, or you still need more time? Should we go ahead and see what the results are? Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and show the cloud. All right. So can y'all see something on the right-hand side of your page? Yeah. So can you see what's on the right? Okay. So for whatever reason, I cannot hear you.
I can see it.
Okay, great. So yeah, so that's awesome. So obviously the big one, the one that a lot of people have included is goals. That's awesome. Research, accomplishments, graduate project, professional, political, evidence, keeping, school. This is all great. So actually, these are the ones that we're going to include in the portfolio. So next, I'm going to stop share. So I'm back. So next, we're gonna see what are the particular tool that we're gonna use for organize the ideas that you just typed in. That would be the Jamboard. So first of all, I'm gonna ask you all to log into the Randolph-Macon Google Drive. Have you all have you got a chance to log into Google using your Randolph-Macon email and a password? Yes or no? If you haven't, that's okay. Let's go ahead and go to google.com, and on the top right corner, we'll sign in. Okay, so if you actually would prefer using your own personal Google site, that's okay. But Randolph-Macon's account will give you unlimited storage. And for your portfolio, that will be advantage because supposedly you will include artifacts, right? It could be interview, audio recording. It could be probably video. Like if you have a fabulous PowerPoint, you add voiceover, add a little bit music. That could be a video. And those files will be large. And the Randolph-Macon Google account will solve the storage problem. So I'm gonna ask you to do that. If you have problems, could you please raise your hand? And if it somehow keeps logging you into your personal Google account, try to open an incognito window, okay? And see if that helps. And if don't try to go to gmail.com because the Randolph-Macon Google account does not support Gmail. It supports anything else except Gmail. So if you could please do that, and I'm going to start sharing a different screen. Okay. Okay, so how are we doing in terms of sharing? I mean, in terms of logging into Google, Randolph-Macon Google, we call it G Suite. Great, yeah, if you have your thumb up, that's helpful. Great, okay, so I'm definitely seeing more thumb up. Okay, so, yeah, okay, so that's awesome. So okay, so I haven't seen everybody's thumb, but I guess it's okay. Should we go ahead and proceed, continue? Okay, all right. Okay, so this is the file. I'm gonna share next file. This is the file that I was sent to Dr. Marcetti and Dr. Cripps. Okay, so this is this has all the information that okay. So why e-portfolio? So we would like to, okay, as Dr. Marcetti has told you that it's a place, it's a website that would document your growth and your progress, right? We would like to, it would be great if you have your number of years, okay? It could be, you know, if you just joined honors program, it's like from semester to semester. If you started early, you know, from early years to now. And also it would be, it shouldn't be a placeholder for bulleted text. Okay, so it's not a list of things because LinkedIn does that, right? Actually, it's a place for you to tell your story. So it would be great if you actually can connect all the things from one course to another, you know, from what you do in class to what you do outside of class in the community, and even to, you know, some of the things that you do in your daily life. So the connection piece will be important. Okay, so to do that, it's great to have, you know, to have artifacts, your writing sample. Say it could be an assignment that you have done for a class, but also it's about something, say, you were doing for the community, you know, for, you know, the Earth Day, for Relay for Life, for your club. So all the activities are actually included in this piece of writing. So it could be a piece of writing, it could be pictures, or it could be a digital story. And in this PowerPoint presentation, I actually have all the tools and the resources that you could use. Okay, so for the writing samples, it wouldn't be a problem. You can copy and paste, or you can just upload a PDF file. But if you do want to get into, you know, graphics, audio, you have all the resources available. Okay. Well, how are we doing so far? I'm gonna stop sharing. So far so good. Yes. Okay. So if you just want to, if you could give me feedback, that would be great. I'm also monitoring the chat. So yeah. So I have the chat enabled. So if you have questions, you could type in the chat box as well. Okay. So moving along, we are going to introduce Google Sites. Okay. So if you could please, yeah. Just make sure that you're logged into your Google Drive, and then, okay, so go ahead and click on Google Drive. Okay. Yeah, so in Google Drive, under More, let me see, I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay, so yeah, bear with me for a second. So, okay, so, okay, under Google Drive, let's see, share. Okay. So under Google Drive, right, when you click on New, you have Google Docs, which I'm sure that you have used, and Google Slides, and you have used before. But under More, there is one tool that I want to introduce to you. You don't have to use for the project, but it might be helpful for the future. So it's the Google Jamboard, okay? So if you go ahead and click on Google Jamboard, okay, and this will be something that, can you see the stick notes on your screen? Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing and reshare if so. When you share on Zoom, you have to be careful because you think that what's on your screen will be shared. Sometimes it's not, but I'm gonna share. So do you see the stick notes? Yes, no?
Yep.
Okay, great. Awesome. So yeah, this is, okay, so if you go ahead and work on your own Google Jamboard a little bit, just to get used to this tool, it doesn't, yeah, you don't have to use it exactly for today's project or today's practice, but you know, you can add a sticker. Okay, it's good for brainstorming, right? Okay. You can add different labeled sticker notes. You can add connection. You can insert image. Okay, so back to my example. Okay, so basically in my case, I want to include these topics in my portfolio, for instance. Okay, I'm not sure about these, but at least the first three: academics, civic engagement, and leadership. Okay, and these are the things that I want to put under academic learning. Okay, one of them is actually writing or narrative sample. And then also I want to include things like study abroad and so on and so forth. Well, do notice that some of them are interconnected. For instance, honors course project, it could be related, the writing could be related to, you know, the civic engagement. Study abroad could be related to, for instance, and then that got me into, you know, mentoring international students, for instance, so on and so forth. So the good thing about using a website or Google Sites for portfolio is that you can easily make the interconnection. While on a paper format or even in LinkedIn, sometimes it's not as easy because the format is very rigid. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop share. So how are we doing so far? Okay, so next I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and create a folder in your Drive, your Google Drive, and I'm gonna share again. Okay, so here we go. So in my case, that under Drive, I created a folder, I call it ePortfolio demo, okay, for the class demo. And under that, I actually have a folder just for media, assuming that I will have a lot of images. Is okay, so maybe that when you were taking the pictures using your phone, you didn't have this in mind. But this is great that we have the phone, and on the phone we have taken lots of images, and they could be imported into the portfolio. Okay, I'm sorry. Ooh. Okay, and all right, so next in your Drive, go ahead and open the folder that you just created, and then go ahead and go to New and select Google Sites. Okay, so go ahead and click on Google Sites. All right, and I'm gonna try, okay, I'll stop share and then open Google Site and share again. Okay, so here we go, share. All right, so this is the site that I created using Google Sites. And this, again, as an example, you do not have to have all the categories, but it's good to use the Jamboard to get all the ideas organized, you know, where, what information would go under which heading. Okay, so in my case, I have home. That under academic learning, I have the writing sample, study abroad, internship, so on and so forth, and civic engagement, and then leadership. Okay, so to start, okay, so when you open, it probably it's generic background, and color scheme, and so on and so forth. But let's go ahead and click on themes. Okay, so this is where we can pick a theme, and you probably noticed that the themes are quite limited. Google only gives you half a dozen. The good thing is, well, basically, it wants to make sure that your web page or the site will be accessible. In other words, when people look at it on a phone or on a tablet, on a computer, it will scale properly. And also the colors won't be a problem for those who have visual impairment or who are colorblind. So anyone you pick, you can always, you can switch, but I will suggest that for the site, you will have multiple pages. Be sure that all pages will stick to the same theme. Okay, in theory, in practice, you can choose a different theme for a different page. Just, I want to remind you that, okay, all these are different pages, okay, that we are making links to from the homepage. All right, so yeah, so pick a theme at this point if you could. And don't worry too much about, oh, I don't really like the brown background, because we can choose the background. We can add our own image. All right. So at this point, I'm gonna stop sharing. And if you have questions, I'm going to actually, if you have questions, could you please let me know? Or if you actually would volunteer to share your screen at some point, let me know too.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Last year we used like folios or something like that. Are we not supposed to use that anymore?
If you want to continue to use folios and you're already used to it, that's great. Go ahead and stick to that. It's a different program. Google Sites are, because of the improvement, are more user-friendly now. And also it gives us unlimited storage, which actually is to our advantage. But folios is limited in terms of storage. But if you have already started folios, please go ahead and continue to use that, because it's a very good program and fairly easy to use too.
Okay, thank you.
That's a good question.
I have a question too. I went to one of these lunches before, and I already created a page, but I don't remember where to find it.
I kind of think that it's probably on your folios. So if you attended a workshop before that I taught, so in the past we use folios, and the website is folios.rmc.edu. Okay, it's FOLIOS. Okay, and it's right. Yeah, it's folios.rmc.edu, and you click on Start, where you would log in using your Randolph-Macon email. Okay. Yeah, so Dr. Marcetti text everybody that actually they have a link. So
yeah, I can send you guys the link too. If you don't know where it is and you sent it to the honors program, I have all those links saved. So you can just send me an email and I'll send you the link. Sorry, it's loud in my house. That's why I'm muted.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, those are good questions. So the design or the components are similar. I mean, in the past, I remember getting the information from Dr. Cripps with very nicely defined categories. Academic excellence, civic engagement, research, and the communication, things like that. So those are still, these are still applicable and very solid well researched on. Those are the skills that prospect employers do look for. So any other questions? All right, so we'll go back to Google Sites, and I'm gonna share again. All right, so back to this Google site. If you, I think I'm gonna start a new one so that I'll be working with you. So can you see my screen at this point?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so here I'm starting a new, so this probably is something that your page looks like so far, right? And if you have picked a theme, I'm just gonna pick the first one. Okay, so this is where you probably wanna type your name, right? Or something that, you know, if you have a tagline, or we can change that later too. So, okay, so that should be your home page. And for that, it says untitled site. You could probably type, you know, your name. Okay. Spaces are fine. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna ask you to upload an image into the folder that you created, the portfolio folder, or if you have a media folder inside the portfolio folder, open that one and try to upload 1 or 2 images, just so that it again, is temporary, just so there's something that we can work with. So if you go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm gonna change the image. Okay, I'm pretty much sure that this will be the background. I mean, this will be the template or theme. So I'm gonna change image. I can upload an image or select the image. In my case, I'm gonna select the image. Google comes with collection of images that you could use, and it's all free. So, but I'm going to look at my Google Drive because I have uploaded some images into my ePortfolio site and media site. And this is my, I'm gonna probably use Wash Franco. Wait, so here we go. Google, so when you upload an image, Google will make your image to the right brightness so that your text will stand out. Again, we talk about accessibility, right? We want the text to stand out against the background. So here we go. We have a home page now. Okay, so next we're going to look at insert on the right-hand side. All right, so how do you want the layout to be? So the layout could be, if we have multiple components, 4 or 3, you can pick that. Or if you say, well, the home page, I just want to have my picture or a picture that I like, that's, you know, that's relevant to my portfolio, and self-introduction or the goals or what have you. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the layout, the first layout. This will be the picture. Okay, if you click on that, and again, I prefer have all the images uploaded first into, because it helps me with the organization. But if you want to do it on the fly, you can upload now. All right, so yeah, I'm going to again upload from my ePortfolio demonstration and then the media. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna use that. That's a 3D printout. Okay, so so it's about me, or lack of better heading, I just call it about me. Okay, and this is where you can type your text. Okay. Okay, so there certainly could be more, right? So I'm going to ask you to please type in RMC somewhere, Randolph-Macon College, because we're trying to make a link to the Randolph-Macon website. Okay, and then next we're going to highlight Randolph-Macon College or RMC, and then click on the link icon and type in or copy and paste the RMC website URL. So if you type in the URL, sometimes you start with the www without what I have now, HTTPS. Sometimes the web browser will not find it, especially if it has special security settings. So it's better for you to go to the RMC webpage and paste. Okay. So far, we have the page. When you click on it, it probably doesn't take you right to the page, but we're going to go ahead and click on the preview icon, which is on top. The ribbon is on top of your editing area. It says preview, so you can preview it. That's what it looks like. And if you click on RMC, it will go to the RMC homepage. I want to call your attention to different modes of preview. It could be on a computer, it could be on a phone, right? Or a tablet. And when you're done, we'll hit exit. Okay, so I'm going to stop share for now. How are we doing? Okay, if you don't see anybody raise hand or problems, I'm gonna continue. Great, okay, well, thank you for the thought. Yeah, that's good. At least I get some feedback, right? Thank you. All right, so moving back to our Google site. Okay, so we have the home page. Now, okay, I'm done with that. Now I'm like, okay, I am going to create another page. Remember in our Jamboard, we have academic excellence or academic learning. So that's a page, like what I said. We're gonna go ahead and click on pages on the right-hand side. Okay, so far we have home page. And now we're gonna create a new page. And let's just click on page and call it, so how would you like to call it? Academics, maybe? Okay, press done. Okay, so it takes me to academics. And as I mentioned in at the beginning of our Google site, if we pick a theme, right, we pick a header image, it probably, okay, I would encourage you spend some time settle on an image, because from that point on, every time you create a new page, the background or the theme will be carried over to the new page. If you decide to change that midway, then you have to go to each page to make the changes. So as you can tell that my home page is the theme and the background, and now it's just like, it gets carried over very nicely. So now we're on academics. And the same thing, academics. Now this is where you're going to click on insert. Okay, start with a template or a layout, or you can actually have all these, as you can tell. And we're going to practice including a YouTube, okay? And again, in the PowerPoint presentation that you're going to get a copy of, you know, how to upload your video onto YouTube, because YouTube does a fabulous job streaming video. So the audience, your viewers won't wait for a long time for the video to load, or because YouTube basically is click and play. So you could do that. You could include YouTube. But okay, so let's go ahead and click on, okay, well, let's just click on that. Academics, for instance, the first one, I want to call it my, you know, sample writing samples. All right. And next actually would be my academics. Okay, so my experiential learning, or let's call it study abroad maybe. Okay, so these are two things that I want to focus. But what if I have more? That's fine. We can always add, we can always change the layout actually. You know, you can, oops, sorry, so. You do have to be careful what to select, right? So you can actually change the layout, you know, you can move things around, but it's actually better to have the system, you know, have all the layout all lined up for you. Because later if you do that, it could, like what I said, you have to be careful what to select. Okay, what if you do that? And I'm like, well, I actually don't want this stuff. You can click on it and delete. Okay, so this actually is the part that I think Google is very flexible. You can use the layout. If you don't, that's okay. All right, so what if I just want a list like that? That's fine. All right, so we'll have sample, we'll have study abroad. Maybe you have other projects. Maybe you have, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have another category and call it, just click on that and call it honors project. Okay, so just make sure that, yeah, it's not the normal text. Maybe it's the heading. Oops. Subheading. There we go. So the font, the size will match. Okay, so far so good. All right, so let's go ahead and click on the preview icon. Okay, all right, so we'll preview on computer. All right, so as you can tell that if you click on home, because we already have a home page, it takes us to home. If you click on academics, it takes us to academics page, but these are not clickable yet because we don't have a page for it to go to. Okay, all right, so once you're done, we'll X out the preview mode. Okay, so next we're going to actually, under academics, we're gonna have 3 subpages, okay? Because these are these will take people to subpages under academics. So under pages, okay, and under academics, we'll click on the 3-dot menu and add subpage. So the first subpage, what do you think the first subpage would be? Writing samples? Sort of matching what we already have here, right? So okay, and we'll add another. So still under academics, and this will be what study abroad. And still another. I mean, in my case, we have I have honors project, but again, all the subcategories or subheadings are totally up to you, right? Stop. Okay, so as you can tell that if you point your mouse to academics, there's that little caret that shows that there's more. So these are the sub pages. So back home, right? If you click on the heading academics, you can pick any one of them. Let's go ahead and just click any one of them to see what it's like. So there's not much information, but this is where you can add information. So again, when you add information, you can start with the layout, or you can just double click in the area to add text, or probably add a PDF file from your Google Drive, or add an image. So any questions so far? I'm gonna stop share. Does anybody want to show your page? No? Okay, all right. Okay, if not, then we're going to go ahead and see how this page could be viewed by your professors and even people outside of Randolph-Macon. All right, so I'm going back to share screen. Okay. So do you get an idea how to link, how to create the link between pages? So from home, we can link to academics. All right. So what if you, for instance, want to make a link from study abroad to honors project? So on study abroad page, okay, I'm going to double click and enter. Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna say I complete wow. Okay. All right, so obviously I can make a link from my text to my honors project page. So what I'll do is I select honors project and click on link. So when you click on the link icon, you have two choices. You can either type in the URL or I'm gonna link to one of my own pages in the portfolio. So I'll click on, do you see what I was doing? I clicked on the page and press apply. And here it goes. So when you preview, okay, so now I'm on study abroad, right? So when I click on the project, it takes me to the honors project page. Okay, so this is, again, back to the Jamboard. It is good to have all the information laid out up front, okay? But of course, you're making changes, right, through the years. You can always come to pages and move them around. For instance, if your honors project actually is so impressive that you really want to highlight it, want to make it to the top, you can grab hold and move it. Okay, yeah, once you move, so writing samples become the second in the list. So when people click on it, it's honors project first. If you feel like, well, my honors project actually should be on its own. It shouldn't be under academics because it's so involved. I did it for class, for the honors program, and also you know, as to show my leadership ability and my community involvement. You can make it, okay, so you can make it like by its own. So that, as you can tell, that now it becomes its own subheading. So in this sense, I think that it's a little bit more straightforward than the old platform folios. Okay, so how are we doing so far? I'm gonna stop sharing. We're doing okay? All right, yeah, so if, great. So if you have questions, yeah, we still have time. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and move to our next step. All right, so I'm gonna share again. Okay, so next will be publish. Okay, so this is all fine. You have been adding content, moving content or enriching content. Now it's ready to be published, or it's ready for your professor. You can preview it, but it's not ready for anybody else to view. So to do that, you will publish. So go ahead and publish that. Click on the publish icon. Okay, so basically, this is the web address. Look at not the big box. It's here. This is your web address that your portfolio will have. Okay, so it starts with sitesgoogle.com, goarmsy.edu. Okay, because it's Randolph-Macon Google. All right, so I'm gonna leave this up to you. Usually, the less letter to type, the easier to get to. If it's a long string of letters, sometimes the typo will just throw people off. It will take them to a wrong web address. So this is something that you want to make it unique, but not too long. All right. And who can view the site? As of now, it's anyone at Randolph-Macon College. Basically, when they click on the link, the system will prompt for them to log in using their Randolph-Macon email. You can change that. Okay, and you can do that later. This is only one place for you to manage, but then there are other places you could do. You can come back and change that. So from change, okay, it can be anyone that can find and view the published version, which will be useful when you try to send the link to your prospect employer. Okay, for now, we're gonna keep that and press save. All right, and press done. Okay, you can go ahead and publish. Right, so this is the first time you publish it, so the system basically will be fine. But if you hit publish, right, and next time you made changes, addition, or what have you, you hit publish again, it will make you review. Will really make sure this is the new version you want to publish. Because if you're using the same web address and you hit publish again, it's going to overwrite the old version. Okay, so once it's published, it's available for, currently it's available only to Randolph-Macon College people. But when you change that, I mean, you can make it available to the whole world. So actually these are all the technical aspects of Google Sites. Stop share. Now I'm open for questions. And if you want to include your PDF file, you want to, okay, so okay, I'm gonna share again. So for instance, the writing sample, right? So I'm going to the writing sample page. Okay, what if you want to upload from Google Drive a PDF file? Okay, let me see where I can find my PDF file. Okay, so PDF file. Okay, so the idea is the PDF file will also need to be published. Okay, so if I upload, for instance, okay, so I'm gonna upload a PDF file. Okay. All right, sorry, I cannot find a PDF file, but the idea is if you want to include, here we go, include, for instance, the PowerPoint presentation that I just sent you. I mean, I just showed you. So if I go to my portfolio demo, and this is, okay, so if I, all right, so this is, as you can tell that I could have my Google presentation embedded, right? So if I hit preview, it will be fine for you because you have access to your sites and the PowerPoint or Google presentation. But for the rest of the world to see it, or even for somebody with Randolph-Macon email to see it, you need to make sure that this file is also shared properly. Okay, so to do that, in addition to publishing your Google site, you also will need to come to your Google Drive, click on the PowerPoint presentation or Google presentation, and right-click on Apple, it's Control-click. You will also want to share it. Okay, as of now, I have it shared as anyone with the link can view. But again, there are different settings. Okay, so this will be good for anyone without logging in. But if you want to make it only available to the honors directors, you will also want to change that to not anyone can view, but also people at Randolph-Macon can view. Anyone at Randolph-Macon with the link can view. And press done. So does that make sense? Okay, great. All right. So yeah, and it's always good to see the published site. Once it's published, you click on the publish button again, it will show you. Okay, so the published site will look like that. Yes, you can preview it, but like for somebody who's not you, all right, to view your site, what it will be like. So I'm gonna share that one more time. Okay, so this page. All right, so this is one that I did as demo. So if I hit publish again, now it says you have to review, change, and publish because the site is already published. Okay, so once it's published, you have another item. It says view published site. So what your true audience will see. So previews are great, but this is actually a published site for your audience to see. Okay, just very quickly, this is a demo Google site or demo portfolio. So I have academic writing, academic learning, writing semester abroad. I have that and leadership. And I want to show very quickly. So you have you can have different layout, right? You can have, you can include, in my case, this is a YouTube video. I made the video and I uploaded to YouTube. You can actually include a Google presentation here, like what was I showed you. And also images, of course. Okay, so that concludes my presentation on Google Sites or ePortfolio development. Do you have questions? If not, I'm going to continue to record if our honors directors have things to say, or otherwise we're done for the content.
Let me turn my video back on. There you go. No, I'm good. Thank you so much for giving this presentation, and we will try to email out a link with it to everybody once we figure out how to get it up on whatever page we're going to do.
Okay, and I'll send you the PowerPoint presentation with all the resources, how to make video, and what if they want to use public domain images, where to look for them, and so on.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Bye, honor students.
Bye.
Bye.
So we have chat. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.